Representing South Korea, longtime veteran team CJ and his Blaze bested their competition and obtained the coveted Seoul Korean spot in the World Cyber Games. At this year's event, CJ Blaze will be facing many international opponents, including China's two powerhouse teams, OMG and World Elite. I'm Lindsay Geektron, and this is Claw 5's Meet a Team. First up in the top lane, we have Flame. While his champion pool is quite versatile, he has stuck by Shen, Renekton, and Jax during the WCG qualifiers. Brought on the team to replace one of Korea's best top laners, Reapered, he was an initial disappointment due to his small champion pool. The team stuck by him, and his improvement to become the best is seen in every game that CJ Blaze has played. Routinely out-farming his opponents by 100 CS or more, his stellar game mechanics and superb team fighting ability often leads teams in focusing their game plan against Flame. His good looks and ability to hard carry CJ Entus makes him one of the most popular players in Korea. In the jungle, we have Daydream, with an aggressive champ pool consisting of Aatrox, Lee Sin, and Elise. Originally a hyper-aggressive jungler for Zenix Storm, he would sometimes make questionably bold decisions, yet was one of the two players that joined the starting roles on CJ after their disappointing summer season. It can be argued that his evolution as a more polished, aggressive player enabled Blaze's recent success and has been the team's saving grace. With Ambition's notoriously weak early laning ability and Flame's usual lane domination, most enemy junglers tend to camp either player. Daydream has shown an ability to beat the other jungler to the punch, often snowballing Ambition or Flame out of the other team's control. Leading the charge in mid is Ambition. This All-Star's recent champions of choice have been Kassadin, Gragas, Ahri, and Orianna. Snapping out of his recent slump that began in the finals of OGN's Spring 2013, Ambition has proved to us why he was selected to represent the mid lane for Korea during All-Stars. His ability to snowball the mid to late game was amplified by his Kassadin and Ahri play in the WCG qualifiers. Much like Flame, he was known for his emphasis on farm, and was able to make a significant impact on the game. His return to playing at a high level was a sigh of relief to all Blaze fans, as he was rumored to have been benched in the offseason. Fresh out of solo queue is Emperor, AD carry and newest member to Blaze. The second player to have joined the CJ team, Emperor was formerly known as Toppy until he changed his name in the WCG qualifiers, and he's been playing Corki, Caitlyn, Ezreal, and Vayne. His performance was quite impressive and a large improvement overall from their last starting AD carry, Hermes, who was known for having nerve issues at events. Behind Emperor is Lustboy on support. An original member of the team, his recently played champions are Thresh, Annie, Lulu, and Zyra. After the benching of Captain Jack, Lustboy took over the role as a captain for the team. Known the world over as being the best Lulu ever, his champion pool has always been able to adapt to the meta. He has played almost every support appropriate to the meta since his professional debut. While his playstyle was passive with Captain Jack as the carry, expect to see a more aggressive Lustboy at WCG with Emperor's recent performance. The substitute for the mid lane, Baimi, is a new member to Blaze. His champions of choice are Orianna, Nidalee, and Ahri. A dominant mid laner in Korea's solo queue, Baimi is a challenger Orianna main, and many pro players look to his play in solo queue to see improvements they can implement. He's also well known for his Ahri, although recent nerfs to the champion make appearances of Ahri at WCG unlikely. He was substituted in the group stages of the WCG qualifiers, in which both games he played Nidalee, a popular pick in the Korean Siege compositions. The substitute AD carry is none other than Captain Jack. His champions of preference have been Vayne, Kog'Maw, and Thresh. The superstar of the original squad, Captain Jack took the esports scene by storm with his Graves and Sivir play. His use of Cleanse and his team fighting ability dominated the meta, which revolved around games lasting 40 to 50 minutes. However, as the meta evolved, which ironically became faster paced due to Blaze's fast push strategy, Captain Jack's weaknesses began to show. His lack of presence in the laning phase, along with Ambition's tendencies to get first-blooded, would often doom Blaze early on in games, forcing the CJ coaching to move him to a substitute role on the team. Blaze typically runs a split push composition, revolving around Flame split pushing. Their high priority on split push is shown in the pick and ban phase, picking Shen as early and as often as possible. They were initially known as a one-composition warhorse, which would allow Flame to freeze a wave of minions for as long as possible. This would, in essence, create a 6th player in which they would use to split one lane, while the newly farmed Flame would split push the other lane. However, teams managed to find weaknesses in this strategy, and they now opt for a more standard split push composition. Most of their compositions revolve around a mid to late game power spike, with Ambition often favoring later scaling champions rather than late dominant picks. While their bot lane of old would have the same mentality as their mid lane, they have decided to go with a more standard approach with their new AD carry Emperor, who is much more consistent than Hermes and Captain Jack. Blaze's roster has always been known to be stocked to the gills with talent. Flame's ability to 1v1 anyone in Korea and come out ahead allows them to run the split in with almost any rotation of champions. Along with Ambition's high mechanical skill, their two talented solo laners are often the driving force in the surge of power in the mid to late game that Blaze is well known for. With the addition of their new hyper-aggressive jungler Daydream, teams are now forced to play at the pace Blaze sets, which is too much to handle for almost every team on the international scene. While the solo laners continue to be the focus of the game plan, their now consistent bot lane is the missing piece of the puzzle. Both Lustboy and Emperor's champion pools are incredibly flexible, allowing them to adhere to Flame and Ambition's picks and provide support in obtaining objectives in the mid to late game. While straightforward and predictable, Blaze's strength relies on other teams having to adjust to their own game plan. A surprise champion to look out for is Nidalee, whom both Ambition and Flame are both capable of playing at a high level. Flame's AD Nidalee is almost impossible to stop from split pushing, while Ambition's AP Nidalee has emphasis on siege composition. This creates a huge mind game in the pick-ban phase, which is crucial seeing as many consider the pick and ban to be half the game. Going forward, the team's main challenges will be China's teams, particularly OMG, who has historically shown that their aggressive meta-shifting style has been a counter to the more split-push oriented style that CJ Blaze is known for. All in all, the World Cyber Games this year will definitely be bringing the heat. Please be sure to subscribe to Cloth5 on YouTube for more great analysis. I'm Lindsay Geektron, thanks for watching.